Hello Year 4. Today I thought we'd look at how we can link number bonds to decimals and see whether we can make a link so that can help you hopefully have a better understanding. First, as a little starter, can you say out loud what these numbers are? I'm going to point to them and see if you can say what they are aloud. Okay, I'm going to try that again. I'm going to say it now as well, and we'll see whether what I say matches what you said. 1, 0.1 or 1/10, 1,000, 100, 10, 0.01 or 100th. If we didn't match, see if you can pause the video now and figure out what it was that you didn't quite get right. Please excuse my slightly wonky rainbow. We are going to recap very quickly our number bonds to 10. So I would have 0 and 10, 1 and 9, 2, say it with me, and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 5 and 5. You'll notice that I go in order. It makes sense that way rather than jumping around. And we know that it doesn't matter what way round they are, they will still make 10. So 1 add 9, 9 add 1, still make 10. Now you might be wondering how this links to decimals. Well, we are thinking about ones and how they go together to make 10. If we go 10 times smaller, we're going to think about how many tenths go together to make 1. So all I have to do really here is think about having a 0 point in front of it. Now I don't need to worry about 0, but it's just the way it is. I'll worry about this last one in a moment. We're actually going to start here and then I'll go back 4. So I'm just going to simply use another pen. In a different colour pen, I'm going to show you how we might do that. This is our number bonds and this is to number 10. Okay, so we're now going to make this 10 times smaller and think about how number bonds of how our tenths go together to make one whole. So I'm going to change this here. We want to make 1 now. So I'm going to have 0.1 and 0.9, 0.2 and 0.8, 0.3, which is 3 tenths, and 0.7, which is 7 tenths. Now we know they go together to make one whole because 3 tenths and 7 tenths is 10 tenths, and 10 tenths makes one whole. We carry on 0.4, 0.6, 0.5 and 0.5. Now this first one, well, it can sometimes be confusing. 0 stays as 0. We don't need to put 0.0 or anything like that. But it can't stay as 10 because you only need to make 1. So that would just be 1.0 because that is just 1 and normally we don't need the 0.0. So there are our number bonds to 1 using our tenths and what we already know. I have some questions for you. There are 5 questions for you to try first of all, using our number bond knowledge to help us. So hopefully you have had a go of those, and let's go through and mark them together. So 0.1 add what equals one whole. So 0.1 add 0.9 equals one whole. 1/10 add 9/10 equals 10 tenths, which equals one whole. 0.6 add 0.4 equals 1. 6 tenths, 4 tenths makes 10 tenths, 10 tenths equals one whole. And now it doesn't matter what way round it is with addition, so don't panic if there are some missing number questions that have the missing number box near the front. 0.7, hopefully you put 0.3. And then we have 0.8, hopefully you put 0.2. And we know that 5 tenths and 5 tenths, 0.5 and 0.5 should equals one whole. I wonder how many out of 5 you got there. Hopefully 4 or 5 out of 5. If you didn't, go back and see if you can try that again with your add-on. Now we're going to think about how we can use our number bonds to 100 to help us. So I'm just going to go through the basic number bonds to 100 first. So I'd have 0 and 100. I would have 10, say it with me, and 90. You'll notice the pattern, 1, 2, 2, 8, 20, 80. It will start showing. Hopefully we can make that connection. We should have 30 and 70, 40 and 60, and hopefully 50 and 50. So we know those together are number bonds to 100. Now we're going to think about how we can use this to figure out how to make 100 hundredths. So we are simply going to have 0 will stay the same. 100 would be 1.00. Now I have 0.10, 0.90, 0.20, 0.80, 0.30 you might say, or 0.30, 0.70, 0.40, 0.60, 0.50 and 0.50. So you'll realise that we can use these patterns to help us have a go. Very much the same for our number bonds at 10, apply it to 100. But now, how many hundredths make one whole? So I've got 20 hundredths and 80 hundredths makes 100 100ths, which equals one whole. I can use any one of these. 0.60, 60 hundredths, 0.40, 40 hundredths, 60 and 40 make 100, 100 100ths equals one whole. And we can think of this as our whole, and that's a really good way to do it. So we can think of, say, another one. So we can think of 10 hundredths, which might be there, and then we might have 90 hundredths, which would be all of these together. That would make our one whole that we were looking on in class. I have 5 more questions for you. Can you use this to answer them? Over to you. Okay, so let's go through the answers to this one. I have 60 hundredths here, 0.60. I only need 40 more hundredths, 0.40. 0.90 and 0.10, 90 hundredths, 10 hundredths, 100 100ths equals one whole. I've got 30 hundredths here, so I'm going to have 0.70 for 70 hundredths. I have 50 hundredths. I need 0.50 as another 50 hundredths. We can see our number bond there. I have 0.20 plus 0.80, 20 hundredths, 80 hundredths together, 100 100ths, one whole. How many did you get right there? Okay, so now we're going to take it a step further. We're going to think about other number bonds to 100 and how can this apply with hundredths. 65 add something equals 100. Now, the common mistake is that everyone will think, right, I know 60 and 40 go together to make 100. So they would go, right, I'm going to put 14 here, fantastic, and I'm going to add on 5 more because I know 5 and 5 makes 10. But pause me and see if you can spot the mistake. Let's see if you figured it out. Now 60 and 40 already make 100. 5 and 5 make another 10. So yes, the mistake is that makes 110. We have to think a little bit differently. Now this time, we need to make sure our 10s add up to make 90 and that our 1s add up to make 10 because together they make 100. So I've got 60, I need to make sure it's 90. 60, 70, 80, 90, that's 3 more 10s, another 5, we were right on that part, 5 here. So our 10s will make 90 and our 1s will make 10. Together, that would make 100. Let me try another one over here. Now, first of all, I'm going to think about getting myself to 100. So I've got 74, add something, equals 100. I think how many more 10s do I need to get to 90? That's 2 more 10s. How many more 1s do I need to make 10? I would need 6. Now, applying this to 100ths, everything is 100 times smaller. So I'm trying to make simply 1 now, and it would be 0.74, which is 74 100ths, add 0.26, which is 26 100ths. So we're just using our number bond knowledge to help us with 100ths instead. Here are 5 questions for you to try. Pause the video and have a go. Here are the answers. See how you did. Our challenge is for you to see how quick you can get with your number bonds. If you are given a certain amount of tenths or hundredths, how quickly can you figure out the corresponding number bond until you get to 1 whole? Over to you, let's see what you can do this week.